My father sabotaged my condo purchase and demanded the money from my house savings for his brother's treatment, so I exposed them to the entire family. I worked my ass off for 6 years at an accounting firm to save up $50,000. Every month, I'd put away $2 grand, skip vacations, live with roommates, and eat the same chicken and rice meal prep all week. The plan was to buy a condo by 30. I was 28 and right on track. Had my pre-approval letter and everything. I was looking at places every weekend with my realtor, Janet. Found this perfect 1-bedroom near the park with a balcony and in-unit laundry. Put in an offer, and they accepted. I was supposed to close in 3 weeks. Life was finally coming together. Then my dad called on a Tuesday, asking if I could come by after work. He never called me, so I figured something was wrong. When I got there, my uncle Keith was sitting on the couch with my dad. Keith looked rough, lost a bunch of weight, and had paperwork spread everywhere. Dad said Keith had been diagnosed with something bad and needed treatment that insurance wouldn't cover. Said it would cost about $40,000. I said that was awful, and asked if they'd started a fundraiser. Dad said they didn't need a fundraiser because I had the money. I laughed because I thought he was joking. He wasn't. He said Keith needed treatment next month, and I had enough saved for a house, so I could help Keith and save up again. I told him that money took me 6 years to save money. Keith jumped in and said 6 years was nothing compared to dying. Dad backed him up, saying I was young and could make that money again, but Keith couldn't get his health back. I said no and got up to leave. Dad blocked the door and said I wasn't going anywhere until I agreed to help. He actually said those words. I told him to move. He said I was being selfish and that Keith changed my diapers when I was a baby, so I owed him. Keith changed my diaper maybe twice when I was a literal infant. That's the argument they went with. I pushed past my dad and left. The next morning, Keith's wife Rita called me at work. She was crying, saying I was killing her husband by being greedy. I hung up. Then Dad started texting me pictures of Keith in the hospital, looking sad. 20 pictures a day. I blocked him. Then he showed up at my office. Security had to escort him out when he started yelling at the reception desk about his heartless daughter. My boss asked if everything was okay. I said family drama, and he dropped it. But Dad wasn't done. He called Janet, my realtor, and told her I was having financial problems and couldn't afford the condo anymore. Janet called me, confused because she knew I had the money. I explained the situation, and she said to get a new phone number. I didn't want to change the number I'd had for 10 years. Friday comes, and I'm supposed to sign papers for the condo on Monday. Dad sent my cousin Mitch to my apartment. Mitch said the whole family was calling me selfish, and that Grandpa would be ashamed of me. Grandpa had been dead for 5 years. I asked Mitch how much he was contributing to Keith's treatment. He said he didn't have any money. I asked how much Dad was contributing. He said Dad was on a fixed income. I asked how much literally anyone else was contributing. Nothing. They just expected me to pay for everything. That's when I got petty. I called Rita and said I'd think about it if they could show me the medical bills and treatment plan. She said she'd bring them over on Sunday. Sunday came, and Rita showed up with a folder. The bills were real, but here's the thing. The treatment Keith needed cost $12,000, not $40. Insurance would cover $8,000 of it, so they needed $4,000 total. They were trying to scam me for $36,000 extra. I asked Rita what the extra money was for. She started stuttering and said there were other costs like travel and food, $36,000 for gas and sandwiches. I told her to get out. Monday, I closed on my condo. Tuesday, I sent Keith a check for $4,000 with a note that said this covered his actual medical costs and to never contact me again. Then I sent the whole family a group text with pictures of the real bills versus what they told me it cost. Explained how they tried to scam me for $36,000. My Aunt Beth responded first, saying she didn't know about the real amount. Then my other uncle Rob said he was disgusted. Within an hour, everyone was pissed at Dad and Keith. Dad called me screaming that I ruined everything. I said he ruined it himself by lying. He said I still should have given them the money because they needed it more than me. I hung up and blocked everyone except Aunt Beth and Uncle Rob. Keith got his treatment and recovered fine. Dad doesn't talk to anyone in the family anymore because they all know he's a scammer. I'm sitting in my condo right now with my cat, watching the sunset from my balcony. Worth every penny I saved.